degrees. And so I tell them where the market's, you know, at least what the pulse I have on the market and what I see. So definitely, even for those people that have associate's degrees, they're going back to get bachelor's degrees because they know that there's so much competition out there now that if you don't have a bachelor, you don't even get past the screening of the candidates with their tracking systems.
Well, I mean, my email goes off every week with individuals that are trying to network and look for opportunities. Right. A lot of these are CFOs, COOs. I mean, there's an awful lot. I look at that and I say, this guy's better than me. I don't forward that to my boss, you know, the resume. But but in any regard, I mean, we're seeing it's not just the line worker here. I mean, there's a lot of people. I'm curious, what are some of those things that you have to get people up to level with when they come into Michigan Works? You talked a lot about, you know, the utilization of technology. Do you have to get them up to speed on technology?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, technology is big at really every skill and experience level. But really utilizing technology to expand and leverage your existing networks has been big. And Whirlpool some time ago had some layoffs of some, you know, white collar level workers, and we designed this Southwest Michigan Job Seeker Network for them to come in and be able to network with each other and show them how to build a LinkedIn profile and, you know, show them that your resume shouldn't be 13 pages long necessarily. So, you know, you have a lot of people with great capacity, great experience. They just need a little bit of training on how to market themselves so they can get their foot in the door.
Go ahead, Angie.
Or even somebody that's been, because they don't know how to write a resume anymore, they've been in a job as a CFO for 13, 15 years, and they're like, I haven't done this in forever, and things have changed. And I get people that are the heads of companies that have no idea about LinkedIn, you know, have no idea about the social media network, taking it in a whole different direction to network and to really, people are in charge of their own careers today. You know, and I tell people that you're in charge of your career. So you have to go out and network, and it can be, doesn't matter if you are the president of a company or if you're a production worker who's going for his degree. So.
Well, and I know you guys are modest and humble, but you got two very good networkers in you two, and the king of social media over here. So I mean, Norm, I know you're involved in a lot of these networking opportunities, and I want to get to social media in a minute with you, Candace. But talk a little bit about networking. How critical of a role is that now in finding a job?
It's unbelievably important. Before I go there,
sure.
let me, if I can, bounce back here to what Angie was talking about. For somebody out there who might be listening, it could be very concerning for them because we're talking a lot about education, we're talking a lot about having bachelor's degrees. There's a lot of people that are not in a position where they can either afford it or they have got the time, they've got life going on, family, so on and so forth. That does not mean that those individuals also cannot be moving forward. What is key to that is the person's attitude and their drive and what they, and their goals.
Well, you talked about adaptability too. I think to have some of that flexibility, you might not make the same salary or wage that you made. You might have to take a few extra thousand less. And you've seen that as well, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I mean, the people who've got the positive attitudes, the right work ethic, they show up to work, they don't have excuses why I can't get to work, they're doing the things they need to be doing, they are rising to the top, and that's what companies are looking for. They're looking for the talent and the next leaders to be able to take the organization. But the networking part is a big piece of that, because if they're out there hitting the doors, talking to people, finding people that know other people, they will come across to opportunities.
Well, when I'm on LinkedIn and I log in the morning, I just check Candace Elders, Candace Elders. Yeah, I see that three lines down. You post a position. What kind of response do you get on some of those positions that you post and say this company's hiring for this position? I mean, do you get pretty good response?
Yes, social media has really allowed us to reach out to a different pool of applicants that might not necessarily come into our doors every day. So we're really able to help our employer customer better by really maximizing the outreach of their open opportunity. But I want to speak to that soft skills issue. We hear that every day. Just give us somebody who can show up on time every day, who has a great attitude, is flexible, can learn, and we'll take it from there. And in addition to manufacturing, you look at some of our other high growth industry sectors like hospitality and healthcare, and you know, you get a foot in the door at an entry level, you can really move up very quickly with a minimal amount of training. Lots of opportunity.
And related to the people skills and the soft skills and the attitude, the conference call I just got off of before I came here was, she goes, we're looking for people skills. They can be a manufacturing supervisor, they can be a production supervisor, but they need to have people skills because they're going to be out on the floor, jumping in, and this is an automotive industry manufacturing, and that's the thing they're having a tough time finding. And to add to that, regarding like the Ivy techs and that, or they're teaching, they're increasing their program, and I hear a lot of people saying they need to teach them those people skills as well, so that when they do go out to interview, you know, they're able to do it and be professional about it and have a positive attitude about it. I also had the opportunity to participate in IUSB with one of my colleagues that's in SHRM for interview process as part of her SHRM or HR class. And I got to interview 5 different individuals, and it was quite an experience because you saw all kinds. You know, they all were great students, and you saw the ones that were passionate. I saw the ones that were going back to school in their older ages, and then I saw the young ones, and then I saw ones who had no clue what they wanted to do and couldn't do a resume. But I encouraged them because it was like, you know, you have to, if this is really what you want to do, you know, you have to embrace it.
Yeah, and I want to get into 2 quick things here, Norm. One is on the resume side. What are some of the key things that people need to be aware of? Okay, so when they need a resume, cover letter, still those things. I mean, what's important now as you go to look for your next opportunity?
Yeah, the resume to me is the least important thing out of everything you can possibly think of. And the reason for that is because it's a marketing brochure. That's all it is. And as in my position and my staff, we might spend 5 seconds looking at a resume.
Really? Okay.
That 5 seconds, you better grab us. If you don't grab us, we move on.
So what is key in that area then?
What's key in that is understanding what the company is looking for and how are you going to make that company money. If you understand the position that you're applying for, you build your resume for that position.
Okay, so tailor your resume per position.
Too many people make a generic resume and they send it out to everyone thinking that's going to do something, and then the problem is they wait at home waiting for the phone to ring. The resume is just a marketing brochure. If I did that in my business and just sent out a marketing brochure and then didn't send somebody out to follow up, I would not be in business. You got to be out shaking hands, you got to be talking to people, and that is one small piece of the job search.
What have you seen, Candace, along those lines?
Absolutely the same thing. You really need to customize for each individual job, and it is labor intensive, but you know, looking for a job is a full-time job. And it's a little shift too. Instead of just saying, well, I did this, and I did this, I did this, you need to really quantify your accomplishments. You know, how many widgets did you sell, and how much money did you
bring to the table.
I want to read one, but I want to get your final thoughts, because I want to read one last quote from Fed Chair Bernanke. He said, maybe some of the headwinds that are concerning us, like weakness in the financial sector, problems in the housing sector, some of these headwinds may be stronger and more persistent than we thought. The economy may be recovering at a slower rate than we had anticipated. What are you, final thoughts, what are you seeing long term from the economy, job market, those kind of things?
The economy is really driven by our psyche. I mean, it is driven by how we're feeling about things, 100%. I can tell you, I think Indiana is probably one of the most primed areas. He can be speaking that to the national level, and I agree with him on some of those areas. From a local area, from Indiana and Michigan, we've got Illinois and Ohio bordering us. Neither one of those are small business friendly states. So you've got many companies looking to Indiana saying, gosh, we'd like to open up a business in Indiana because they're pretty friendly toward businesses, as well as Michigan, got their arms wide open. We've got Elkhart County, which President Obama has spent many hours in Elkhart, and I see a lot of federal contracts going toward Elkhart. You take that in combination, we're sitting on a pretty good spot in comparison to where I think many other places in the nation are sitting right now.
We've got about a minute left. Your thoughts?
I agree with Norm, and I think I see more businesses coming in here. I read Inside News and the economic news, and a lot of companies coming here, so there's a lot of opportunity. You just have to pay attention to them and stay on top of them.
Candace, your thoughts on where you see Michigan and some other areas?
Well, we have a new governor who's very pro-economic development. Our organization will be working much closer with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, so lots of opportunity there. we know that workforce development is a crucial component
Right.
of
key.
economic development. And a company's number one factor in where to decide where to relocate is the ability of a skilled workforce. When you look at population trends and outward migration from the state of Michigan for the past 6-7 years, it's alarming. We have a youth flight brain drain problem.
Right.
We need to really, grow skills from the people that are here and try to get people back if they're getting educated somewhere else and start businesses and work for the businesses that exist here. However, we've got a lot of baby boomers, aging workforce, getting ready to retire. We just want to make sure that we have
Right.
the young talent to take those spots when they're out golfing.
Yeah, the three key things now in economic development: people, place, and position. Do I have
Exactly.
people on the ground? Is it conducive to do business? Is it business friendly? And what are you positioned for in the future? And I think those are the key things, and it starts
Absolutely.
with people, number one. So that's why we had you on today. You guys solved all the unemployment problems. I'm just going to post your cell phone numbers. We're just going to post your cell phone numbers on our website. People can call you if they want a job, and we'll go from there. So, but thanks a lot. Great discussion. Thank you for the great work you're doing
Thank
and
you.
the
Thanks for
important
letting us
work
be a
that you're
part of
doing in our communities, and we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for this edition of Economic Outlook, the show that puts focus on key business, education, and community elements that drive our regional economy. I'm Phil D'Amico. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Economic Outlook.
A portion of Economic Outlook is underwritten by Northern Indiana Workforce Board and Partners for Workforce Solutions, and by the Progress Club, offering women of all ages an opportunity to develop lifelong friendships, challenge the mind, and work for the welfare of children and families.
This WNIT local production has been made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you.